Greetings, everybody. This is Mike, aka Mr. Legit Hustle. Y'all know me, your homie, your brother from another mother. First and foremost, thank you for checking me out, for being here rocking with me. Could have been anywhere else on the internet, on YouTube, but you're here watching my content, so I just want to thank you. I also want to ask you something. Do you have a dream or goal that you feel driven to pursue? Or maybe you're like me and you're already deep in the pursuit of your dream or whatever that goal is, and you like a little motivation and direction in overcoming the challenges that you face. You know, sometimes we doubt ourselves. Sometimes we get afraid of failing. Or maybe you just need some inspiration from time to time. Well, I want to encourage you to never allow yourself to fall victim to discouragement. When you choose to pursue a goal or a dream in your life, know that you're going to get met with opposition and challenges. It just comes with the territory. But there's too much at stake for you to quit. And if you're like me, then you've come too far and through too much to ever give up on that dream or that goal. So, I want to invite you to grab one or two or all of my legit motivation presentations. You can watch the videos on my Legit Motivation podcast on my YouTube channel. And if you see one that you like, you can download the actual slide presentation that I developed and used in that video. That way, you can review the information in depth at your own pace. Now, each slide presentation is packed with factual, reputable, and verifiable information from reliable sources, as well as the game I've learned in 46 years on this realm. So head over to my Legit Motivation podcast on YouTube or go to legithustle.com. Presentations are free, but if you'd like to support the channel, then you can donate there as well. Whether you do or don't, the presentations are yours to keep. Plus, you'll get a special bonus offer on all of my products and services when you download your first presentation. So head over to legithustle.com or look for the link in the comment section of the video that you like. Alright? Again, thank you for rocking with me. Enjoy the rest of the show. Peace. Tales of a hustler, man. Feel me? Yo, check it. If the money don't impress you when your word is your bond, you make the moves of a don, can bag a chick with your charm. Haters hate, but you don't stop no matter how hard it get. You just don't know how to quit. You know your hustle's legit. If everybody standing around you, they know just where you stand. You hold your own like a man, cause you can never cross friends. Carry your cross cause you a boss no matter how much they spit. Show them your teeth and talk shit, cause your hustle's legit. Come on.
Welcome, hustlers, to another episode of Street Money TV. The streets guide the hustler without risking your life or your freedom. As promised, we pick up right where we left off, building the foundation, addressing oneself. But any hustle, business, or venture is about generating money, revenue, aka cash flow. The foundation of cash flow is people. Nothing else matters without people to exchange money with. In business, that's called marketing. There are traditionally 5 principles of marketing: people, product, price, place, and promotion. But modern business includes other more recently added categories like analytics. But for the purposes of this discussion, hustlers need to really grasp the people aspect and promotion aspect of marketing. So we're gonna keep it simple and get into how you as a hustler can use only these two principles to get started getting to the bag and running up some numbers. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Without further ado,
enough. If you go to the mall, let's look at a shopping mall as an example, right? It's a shopping mall, and it would seem common sense, right, and second nature to conclude that because it's a shopping mall, people are there to shop. But we all know everybody at the mall ain't there to shop. Hell, I used to do it. Sometimes you at the mall, you just there to kick it. You just there to see people watch, you know. See if you can find one of them little cute, you know what I'm saying, chocolate ones walking through there, man. You know. See if you can spot you something nice walking through there. You know what I'm saying? So everybody at the mall ain't there to shop necessarily, right? But it's not like that if you go to Walmart or if you go to the grocery store. If you go to your local grocery store, let's say a Food Lion, a Publix, or a Kroger, something that's specifically about groceries, it ain't really that, right? It would be very, very weird if you was hanging out at the grocery store just to holler at chicks and see who you could, you know what I'm saying, holler at. But realistically, if you at the mall just kicking it, you see? So there's a difference in where people go and hang out at and where they go when they want to buy something. And you as a hustler, you as an entrepreneur, you need to be able to know those differences. You need to know where they go when they looking for something or just, you know, kicking it. Where they get their information from. When they want to know about something, do they look it up on YouTube? Are they on Google? Are they more active on Facebook? Do they tend to read blogs, or do they tend to watch more video type of content? Do they tend to get content like this from more common people, or do they tend to go to more academic, scholarly, establishment type of way, right? And that is very important to know, because one, you got to know where they're going to be at in order to even try to get their attention. And then once you know where they're going to be at, you want to make sure that where they see you at, they're in the right state of mind. See, catching that person at the mall might not be the best place, right? For example, I know a lot of brothers feel me on this. Sometimes when you at a place like a mall and you see a very beautiful woman walk past, you know, beautiful sister, whatever flavor, whatever you like, you see her walk past, you know, you shoot your shot in that environment. But because it's that environment, that shit gets shot down. You feel me? Because that's not where her mind is at in that place. Now, if you had saw her someplace else, maybe that interaction would have been different, right? It's the same with customers. It's not any different. If your message reaches them at the mall and they in, you know, I'm trying to holler at all the little cute shawties in here, that ain't the best time to be presenting a certain type of message to them, and you want them to take action on it. Whereas if you know they shop on Amazon, right, or if you know they tend to shop or research things on Google first. Excuse me. Them protein shakes be giving nigga hiccups, man. But if you know they tend to shop online or on eBay or wherever they shop at, or at even a literal physical store, then you know where you need to introduce your message to them, because you want to introduce that message when their mind is in buy mode, not in kick it mode. Because kick it mode information doesn't usually tend to get retained. Buy mode information usually tends to stick with people a little bit better in their memory. They're more likely to remember you and what you approach them about, because the mind state they're in, right? So before you go into this, you need to understand that. You need to know how to capture those people's attention, right? So what do you show them to get their attention? How does that work? I want to show you guys something really, really interesting. This is an article from I think it's from a university, but I'll pull it up on the computer. We're going to take a look at this one next. And this is on advertising. And I really want you all to pay attention to the psychological analysis that they use in determining how to best advertise to us, the people, the average person, the consumer, right? So let's take a look at that right quick. This is advertising visuals. This is from the University of Houston, written by a couple people from the University of Houston and Boston College. So, I didn't write this. This wasn't written by, somebody guessing about advertising and what it's about. This is university level information about advertising. But I specifically want to go to this portion right here. Sections A and B of part 2. The importance of visual images in advertising, the evidence from academic research, and how the visual component of advertising works. So let's roll down. Let's go and get this part 2. Visual element. Here we go. I'm not going to read through all of this. There are some specific things in here I want to point you guys to. All right, so this is the importance of visual images in advertising, right? So this is all based on academic research. I'm going to read this first paragraph. Kaiserlin, I guess that's somebody who's involved in producing a report, reports that 2/3 of all stimuli reach the brain through the visual system. So 2/3 of the stimuli, the things that cause your brain neurons to fire and function, right? Be it creativity, thoughts, or whatever. 2/3 of that reaches you through your visual system, your eyes. And it might be argued that although human thought is neither words nor visual images, it seems closer to the latter than the former. Meaning, as I said, if I say the words McDonald's French fries, you don't visualize the words. You don't think the words, but you don't necessarily see McDonald's French fries visually. But what you do get in your mind is much closer to a visual than a word. Right? So this study, this Connor's advertising performance study, this finds that 98% of the top scoring ads in advertising effectiveness contain some visual element, either a photograph or an illustration. 98% of the top scoring ads in effectiveness contain visual elements. The visual element occupies between 25% and 63% of the space layout. Why is that important? As I said earlier, marketing and promoting and advertising, it's about human psychology. And so the people who are really serious, the people that the big corporations hire, the people that run advertising campaigns that you see on the Super Bowl and other places, they know exactly how to get people's attention. Down to the fact that they know how much space on a particular layout to be most effective the visual needs to take up. 25 to 63%. Last sentence. Of the top scoring ads in this study, 65% had a visual that occupied between 1/4 and 3/4 of the advertisement. See, people who are serious about advertising and marketing, they study human psychology. They study how and why people do things. Visual imagery is used to attract attention, stimulate curiosity, illustrate product features and benefits. Remember, I talked about attracting attention and using curiosity to do it in the first video, because this is how it's used. Look, they create and develop a personality for a product. That's right. Every product, service, the big boys, the big guys, they have entire profiles of information about that thing. So much that you could call it a personality. A backstory, how it came about, what it's a mixture of, what it does. They associate the product with certain symbols and lifestyles and establish a brand's identity in the minds of the target audience. This is why a brand can't be just something like a logo or a website. No, the brand takes place in the mind of a target audience. You see? Let's check out this paragraph. It's interesting too. Eye tracking studies. Did y'all know they track where your eyes go? Eye tracking studies have been used to show that consumers focus first on the dominant picture in a print ad before attending to verbal information. Meaning, whenever someone comes across an advertisement, and this is dealing with print, but today in our time, dealing with videos and social media, it works the same way. First, the consumer focuses first on the dominant picture in the print ad before attending to the verbal information, aka the print, aka the post, aka the video description, aka the title. Right? When you see something in your timeline on YouTube, the first thing you see is what? The thumbnail. Right? And they know this. The attention a viewer pays is facilitated by A, the size of the image, where larger pictures work better than smaller ones, or B, the color of the image, say for example where a color image works better than one in black and white, and C, the vividness of an image, where a greater number of colors work better to attract attention. Now, this is talking about print, but we are living in a digital era, and it works the same way. Visual media, like YouTube, like this, it capitalizes on all of these things. The size of the image, right? You're watching the video, the image is large. It's pretty much your whole screen, except for the graphics and things that may come up during the video. But the picture is pretty much the whole screen. The video just moving pictures, right? The color. You're not watching this in black and white, it's in color. And vivid in color. We have 4K, 8K graphics, right? So the imagery is very vivid. They know these things works because of eye tracking studies. If you've ever worked in management in retail and you ever had to do a layout for the store, you know they're very specific about where things go. This is why. Because they know we need to put this, we need to put Coke. When you walk into the next convenience store you walk into, look for Coca-Cola. I bet you're going to see it very soon after you walk into that store. Look for anything Coca-Cola related the moment you walk into a store. Why? Because one of the things about Coca-Cola is they're usually very, very particular about where you place their brand imaging in a store. And they're usually one of the first. And that's by contract. That's by design. Right? And that's because they have took the time to study where human eyes go. Yes, they study your eye tracking. And they were doing it before smartphones. So now with cameras and shit on these devices, think about it. So they know exactly how to get to us, how to appeal to us. Now, I'm not going to recommend that you do anything unethical or crooked, because a lot of this research is used against us in an antagonistic type of way, in a predatory type of way, right? But I'm not advocating for any of that. I'm advocating that you understand that this is how marketing and advertising actually works. This is how it works. Then you have to decide how you're going to use it. Are you going to be unethical? What do you stand for? Look. The images, the visuals of advertising facilitate memory of an ad. Is what makes you remember one versus another. It favorably influences beliefs, attitudes, and behavioral intent. And that's an image. It didn't say nothing to you. It didn't ask you anything. It's just the impact that visuals have on people. This is how they do it. They study it. So again, I'm going to make the link to this document available in the description as well. You can check it out. I suggest you do. Be serious about your grind, about your hustle. All right. So automatically, you see the importance and the value of visuals. All right. The power of a picture versus a video, or the power of traditional media like newspapers and flyers and business cards versus digital media, YouTube, Vimeo, Truth Social, Rumble, Facebook, X, Snapchat, TikTok. Right? Those mediums, those platforms, those venues are so much more powerful now than newspapers ever were. You understand? The psychology of the human mind works visually. You visualize things more than you hear them in your mind, right? If I say McDonald's French fries, you probably visualize McDonald's French fries, like the article was saying. You don't visualize the words McDonald's French fries when I say them, right? So because we have the type of media at our disposal now that is so visually based, we have so much more power to reach and connect people in the palms of our hands than any of those hustlers, any of those entrepreneurs, any of those people ever had in your lifetime. We have the capability to influence people far beyond what I think people really, comprehend. And I wasn't intending to talk about this right now, but this is a good time to do that. So let me also be very clear about something. I am 100% opposed to fraudulent activity, to disingenuous activity, to scamming type activity. And in 100% transparency, I have done those types of things in my life. I have those type of charges and history on my background, So I've done those types of things. But even when I was doing that, I didn't target people. I targeted companies. I targeted big targets. Because I have a thing in me that even when I was doing it wrong, right? I couldn't do that to you. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't take you or your grandmama's information and do something with it. I just wasn't that type of dude, you know. But I ain't feel that way about corporate America and they shit. You know how I feel? Y'all feel me? I ain't feel that way about them. And that's not a justification for it. That's just to say that even though I have done fraudulent things in my life, I've done scam type shit in my life, I don't agree with doing that to people. I don't believe in taking from people that are struggling already. Not with that. That's why I could. It's one of the reasons why I could never sell drugs. I tried the shit, but it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? So I've always kind of had that thing in me that was just naturally ethically opposed to harming other people to make money. So I don't agree with that. So I want to put that out there because when you understand the capabilities that we have, y'all, in the realms of visual media, what we can do with these things that we're using, these cameras and microphones and laptops and YouTubes and Rumbles and TikToks, what we have is the most powerful the most powerful mass communicative abilities in our lifetime, y'all. Think about it. My channel isn't doing it now, but because of the size of the market on this particular platform, on YouTube, I can reach millions of people every day. And not just once, multiple times, because I can have multiple pieces of content on this platform. Some of you guys out there got hundreds of videos on your channel. So you don't just reach millions of people one time a day. You can reach millions of people multiple times every day on the platform, on just one. You ain't even got to be active on all of them, on just one. Think about that, man. Our ancestors, our grandparents, whether they were doing it quote unquote lawfully or whatever, imagine if number runners back in the day had social media, man. Come on, man. Y'all already know how creative we are when it comes to getting money. Shit. Nigga, you got people in jail, you got people in prison that because of the technology, they still getting money while they locked up. They ain't even gotta come home, bro. Because of these things, y'all. That is a power, that is an influence that all of us need to be mindful of and wield responsibly. Be responsible about what we say and do on this thing, because that is a lot of reach to have. And when you can reach that many people and influence that many people with your words and your visual imagery, we have to be ethical about it. You have to have principles that you stand on. So to be clear, at Legit Hustle, hey man, I'm all for you getting it. I'm all for you getting it legally and not taking no kind of chances. And even if you are taking chances to get your money, I ain't gonna judge you for that. I would just ask, in whatever you do, however you do it, try to make sure you ain't harming the person next to you that's just trying to do the same thing. You feel me? Try not to harm your brothers or sister in getting that dollar, because that's not worth it, and that's not a legit hustler. So I can't advocate that over here. I ain't gonna knock nobody for getting it how they get it, but I don't advocate for those type of things. And yes, I have done things in my past, and I don't think that makes me a hypocrite. I think that makes me a man who learned from his mistakes. And I hope the same for anybody out there who may be involved in things and trying to get away from it. I hope you're learning from that, and I hope you get away from that type shit for real. So I'm not about that at Legit Hustle. So I want to just make that clear. Yo, what's up? Greetings, everybody. This is Mike, aka Mr. Legit Hustle. Y'all know me, your homie, your brother from another mother. First and foremost, thank you for checking me out, for being here rocking with me. Could have been anywhere else on the internet, on YouTube, but you're here watching my content, so I just want to thank you. I also want to ask you something. Do you have a dream or goal that you feel driven to pursue? Or maybe you're like me and you're already deep in the pursuit of your dream or whatever that goal is, and you like a little motivation and direction in overcoming the challenges that you face. You know, sometimes we doubt ourselves. Sometimes we get afraid of failing. Or maybe you just need some inspiration from time to time. Well, I want to encourage you to never allow yourself to fall victim to discouragement. When you choose to pursue a goal or a dream in your life, know that you're going to get met with opposition and challenges. It just comes with the territory. But there's too much at stake for you to quit. And if you're like me, then you've come too far and through too much to ever give up on that dream or that goal. So, I want to invite you to grab one or two or all of my legit motivation presentations. You can watch the videos on my Legit Motivation podcast on my YouTube channel. And if you see one that you like, you can download the actual slide presentation that I developed and used in that video. That way, you can review the information in depth at your own pace. Now, each slide presentation is packed with factual, reputable, and verifiable information from reliable sources, as well as the game I've learned in 46 years on this realm. So head over to my Legit Motivation podcast on YouTube or go to legithustle.com. Presentations are free, but if you'd like to support the channel, then you can donate there as well. Whether you do or don't, the presentations are yours to keep. Plus, you'll get a special bonus offer on all of my products and services when you download your first presentation. So head over to legithustle.com or look for the link in the comment section of the video that you like. Alright? Again, thank you for rocking with me. Enjoy the rest of the show. Peace. Now getting back into marketing. These types of questions are helping you develop a marketing strategy. That's why you're asking yourself these questions. You're developing a strategy, and you need to be documenting and recording the information that you get as you do your research, as you get feedback from people about it, whether you started in business or you're just doing the background research and planning part. You need to be doing these things, and that requires that you do market research, right? So let's look at some tools that you can use right now, some free, some paid, various prices. We'll look at a couple different tools that you can use right now today to start doing some really powerful market research to help you really gain an insight into who your customers are, who is your target audience. And again, it doesn't have to be about making money. If you're trying to target a specific community on YouTube, if you're trying to target a specific community on Facebook, if you're trying to reach a specific community anywhere on any of these mediums and platforms, you need to do market research. You need to know who these people are. Some of the people that you want to reach, they might be more active on LinkedIn, or Reddit. That might be where you need to be to reach those people. Or instead of Rumble, you might need to be over on Vimeo. All these are still, powerful platforms, even if they're not as popular as some of the other ones. Don't think you have to use any particular platform. You need to use the platform that's going to allow you to reach the people that you are trying to reach. And you need to know exactly who those people are and why they're going to fuck with you, Why they gonna shop with you, right? And that is called market research. So let's look at that, and then we'll jump back over here again. This is a article, a review type of article of some market research tools and software for 2024. Cool thing about these market research tools is you're gonna see, a lot of them are free. Now this one, Qualaroo, I think this is theirs. So of course they're gonna, rank themselves number one. I haven't used it. I might check it out one day. But this one, Google Trends, see, it's number 2. So it ain't too far off that one, right? As far as how valuable it can be. And look, it's free. It's free to use. So you can use Google Trends to do market research on the internet, right? Especially when you need to find out what terms you might need to use in your ads, or even in some of your social media posts and things like that. Right? So it shows the frequency of a search term in Google. You can refine the search by adding location filters. So you can search specific locations like your city, state, county, country, whatever. You can make it visual. So it ain't just a bunch of words. You'll get graphs and bar charts and things like that. That makes it really easy for you to interpret it. And then you can use something like Zapier or Automate to integrate this into your business. You can link this data and research into your website if you have one, possibly, or an app or web app if you have one, or even the other tools that you might use to just conduct business. So you can get your marketing research, sent directly into the things that you use to do business. And this is free. Survey Monkey. Surveys are super powerful too. $25 a month. Statista. I've used Statista. I like Statista. $39 a month. This one is free too. Google Keyword. It's free to use. Tableau. I think I've used Tableau. But yeah, so y'all check this out. Go through here, find out about some of these tools that you can use to start finding out, exactly who your market is going to be and how you can best reach them. What are they interested in? Where do you find them? So in answering these questions for your marketing, you don't have to do it blind, is what I'm saying. The tools out here to help you really get it down to an art. So you're not just, throwing darts at a wall, but you can be precise, you can be on target. And the better you get at doing market research, the more bullseyes you'll hit with your marketing efforts. All right. So y'all check this out. Again, the link is going to be down in the description of the video. Yeah, y'all get to it, man. Get on your grind. Feel me? All right, y'all. So with that, that's going to do it for today's conversation, I hope this information helped all of y'all out there as hustlers, all of y'all out there as entrepreneurs, business owners that watch this. I hope this information helps push you, your vision, your dreams a little bit more forward. If nothing else, I hope I gave you some resources, some tools, some links that you can check out and get started on this. And again, I'm kind of limited on what I can address on YouTube, not because of the content itself, just because these topics can get really deep. You know what I'm saying? I'd end up teaching marketing on Legit Hustle, and I'm not here to teach you marketing. I'm here to kind of guide you on your journey as a hustler, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. as somebody who came from, probably a background like me, where you didn't have the support, you ain't have a silver spoon in your mouth. You didn't come from a place where you had, certain options that other people had, I would say. You got to get it out the mud, as we like to say. Y'all know what that means. So I hope that this content, this message helps you, because y'all like me, So you see, I'm trying to reach a certain people. I'm trying to reach the people who are like me, because that's me, And the objective is to give you some information to point you in the right direction, inspire you, motivate you, clarify some things if it's not clear for you. But I'm limited here, so hopefully all of you know, but some of you know that I actually do this. This is what my business is. I'm actually a business consultant. So if you want to know more about how I can help you off of YouTube and how you can actually get in touch with me, check out the video on my channel, Who is Legit Hustle, and it'll give you a little bit more information about what my actual business is. And what's this? This is February 24th. So I expect by March the 1st I should have my my consulting office side back available to the public, and I'll start taking clients again. I'll be also doing some exclusive classes, workshops, behind the scenes on my private platform. I have a private business video phone system that I use. So I like to do private things for people that want to come, and we can have group meetings, do one-on-one consultations if you like. So I'll be getting back to doing that kind of stuff about March the 1st, trying to take care of some business with the channel before I start really promoting again, because I need everything to work as smoothly as possible. So again, thank you for checking this out, man. I hope like I said, I hope this helps you in your journey. I hope I provide some clarity and hopefully can direct you in some of the places that you need to be looking. That's going to really help you, your family, your people get where y'all trying to go, man. Y'all know what I represent. Y'all know what I stand for. I'm here for you. I'm down with the people. So my words to you, stand on what you represent, man. Stand for what you stand for. And man, push back on anybody or anything that's trying to steal your dreams and the life that you're trying to build for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? And don't let nobody tell you can't do that, or that you wrong for doing that. Because those are the very same motherfuckers that's out there doing it while they trying to discourage you from doing it. So don't let them get that victory. You feel me? So till next time, man, y'all stay getting to it. And remember, man, hustle smarter, not harder, man. It's your boy Mike, Mr. Legit Hustle. We out. Catch y'all next video. Deuces.
So, we here, y'all. Lessons 101 and 102 to Legit Hustle is in the record books. We'll include the links to the resources in the description. But the main point you need to remember is that all of this starts with you. Once you know yourself, you know what you have to offer. And now, you know how to find who to talk to about. So next time, we're going to get into more details on turning your idea into a legit hustle. Because after all, this is Legit Hustle TV. So, with that in mind, remember, hustle smarter, not harder. We out.